The Nintendo Switch might look all bright and family-friendly, but don't be fooled. It's hiding some seriously terrifying games. From chilling indie nightmares to full-on survival horror, this little console packs more screams than you'd expect. So grab your Joy-Cons, dim the lights, and let's dive into 30 of the best horror games you can play on Switch right now. If you ever wanted to feel completely helpless in a horror game, Outlast 2 delivers. You're trapped in a desert cult town where everything moves in shadows and whispers, and the only thing between you and total darkness is a camera with terrible battery life. There's no fighting back here, just hiding, sprinting, and panicking as you pray whatever's chasing you doesn't see your flashlight flicker. It's intense, sweaty palms horror that makes you physically lean away from the screen. If you can play this one in handheld mode without screaming, you deserve a medal. Limbo isn't loud. It doesn't need to be. You're a little boy wandering a shadowy world full of traps and monsters, and every step feels like a dare. The world is silent except for the soft crunch of footsteps and the occasional horrifying snap of a bear trap. It's simple, but it gets under your skin, like a bad dream that won't fade after you wake up. I swear, that giant spider scene should come with a health warning. Limbo proves you don't need gore to make people squirm, just atmosphere, patience, and perfect timing. Resident Evil on the go? Absolutely. The Revelations collection packs 2 full-on survival horror adventures, full of tight corridors, mutated nightmares, and gloriously dramatic voice acting. It feels like stepping back into that classic RE tension, scarce ammo, creepy hallways, and the constant paranoia that something's behind you. And honestly, it's kind of impressive how smooth it feels on Switch. Motion aiming, quick turns, handheld panic, it all works. It's one of those games you start for just a quick mission, and suddenly it's midnight and you're whispering, "Please let there be a save room." Finally, a horror game where you don't run from the monster, you are the monster. Carrion flips the genre on its head, letting you play as a red, tentacled blob of pure nightmare that escapes from a lab and starts, well, eating everything. It's disgustingly satisfying. You slither through vents, grab terrified scientists, and evolve into something bigger and worse. The best part? The controls make you feel inhuman, all fluid, twitchy, unpredictable. It's not scary in the usual sense, but there's something deliciously creepy about being the thing everyone else is screaming about. This one's chaos in the best way. This one feels like an old VHS tape you found in your school's lost and found box. Weird, grainy, and somehow nostalgic and terrifying. Fear the Spotlight drops you into a high school mystery where 2 students sneak into a building after dark, and of course, something supernatural wakes up. It nails that retro "Are you afraid of the dark" vibe. Creepy lockers, flickering lights, quiet hallways that feel way too alive. There's a perfect mix of story, puzzles, and slow burn tension. It's cozy horror, the kind that makes you anxious but also keeps you leaning forward, waiting for what's next.
Everything is going to be spectacular.
Look, it might not be scream your lungs out scary, but Luigi's Mansion 3 deserves a spot here because it's pure haunted house perfection. You're exploring a ghost-infested hotel, vacuum in hand, solving puzzles, and jumping at adorable jump scares. It's spooky in the most Nintendo way possible, fun, colorful, and just the right amount of eerie. Luigi's constant trembling and muttering honestly makes him one of the best horror protagonists ever. You can't help but root for this anxious plumber as he fights back with a glorified vacuum cleaner. It's ghost hunting comfort food, equal parts silly and surprisingly atmospheric. If you thought Outlast 2 was bad for your nerves, the first game still wears the crown for most likely to make you drop your Switch. You're trapped in a psychiatric hospital gone full nightmare, crawling through pitch black hallways while something breathes nearby. There's no fighting, no comfort, just a camera, a battery bar that dies faster than your courage, and the sound of distant screams. It's that pure, helpless kind of horror where every open door feels like a mistake. Honestly, playing this one with headphones is like volunteering for a heart rate experiment and losing. If you love campy horror, this one's your playground. RetroRealms' Ash vs. Evil Dead captures everything that makes the cult classic so fun. Over-the-top gore, sarcastic one-liners, and that perfect B-movie energy. You're basically mowing down deadites with a chainsaw arm, cracking jokes while the world falls apart. It's not about fear, it's about the vibe. The overdone splatter, the crunchy pixel blood, and Ash's been there, killed that attitude make it feel like a playable horror flick from the VHS era. It's dumb, loud, and ridiculously fun, and that's exactly why it works.
Filled with level after level of dangers.
Detention is one of those games that gets under your skin quietly. It's set in 1960s Taiwan under martial law, blending supernatural horror with real-world tragedy. You explore an abandoned school where every shadow feels heavy, haunted not just by spirits, but by regret and fear itself. The art style is haunting, the music minimal, and the pacing slow in the best possible way. It's not just scary, it's emotional too. The horror doesn't come from monsters jumping at you, but from realizing what those monsters actually mean. If you like your scares with a little heartbreak, this one will stay with you. This one's pure survival horror royalty. The Origins Collection bundles the original Resident Evil and Resident Evil 0, meaning you get double the zombies, double the limited ammo, and double the anxiety about saving too early. There's something timeless about that old school tank control tension. Every creak, every camera angle feels like a setup for disaster. It's the perfect nostalgia trip for anyone who loves the feeling of unlocking a door and instantly regretting it. Sure, it's clunky. Sure, it's slow, but that's the magic. It's not action horror, it's vibe horror. Creeping dread, gorgeous lighting, and that satisfying click of an herb combining just right.
Will burn in an inferno of hate.
If you've ever been alone in a museum and thought, what if the paintings started looking back? Yeah, that's Layers of Fear in a nutshell. You play as a painter losing his mind in a mansion that constantly shifts around you. Hallways twist, rooms vanish, portraits melt into nightmares. It's psychological horror done right. Slow, beautiful, and deeply unsettling. There's no combat, no enemies, just your own unraveling sanity and an atmosphere thick enough to choke on. It's the kind of game where you stop walking just to admire how gorgeous and horrible everything is. You don't play Layers of Fear, you wander through a breakdown. Now this one's special. World of Horror looks like it crawled out of an old MS-DOS machine. Black and white pixel art, text-driven horror, and grotesque, brilliant monster designs straight out of a manga fever dream. It's all about cosmic dread and small-town weirdness, investigating curses, talking to doomed classmates, and trying not to lose your mind before the world ends. It's stylish, it's clever, and it somehow manages to make 1-bit graphics genuinely terrifying. You'll die a lot, sure, but that's part of the charm. It's like reading a pile of cursed comics while the power flickers. Uncomfortable, eerie, and completely addictive. If you've ever dreamed of strapping on a proton pack, this one nails it. Spirits Unleashed lets you play either as a Ghostbuster or the ghost itself, turning every match into a cat and mouse chaos fest. As a Ghostbuster, you're tracking down supernatural trouble with scanners, traps, and teamwork. As a ghost, you haunt everything that moves. It's that perfect mix of spooky and silly. Slimy corridors, gadgets whirring, and someone inevitably yelling, "Don't cross the streams!" It's pure fun horror, the kind that makes you laugh right after you scream. Signalis looks like it came straight from a lost PlayStation 1 cartridge. Low poly art, static cameras, and a story that punches you right in the existential dread. You play as a technician searching for her missing partner on a frozen planet, only to find an underground facility full of twisted creatures and broken memories. It's haunting in the quietest way, melancholic, lonely, and oddly beautiful. Everything from the puzzles to the music feels crafted to make you uneasy and fascinated at the same time. It's the kind of horror that lingers in your head long after you've put the switch down. Not your traditional horror game, sure, but tell me this world isn't terrifying. The silence, the ruined castles, the monsters waiting behind every corner. Dark Souls might be an action RPG, but it's powered by dread, the kind that makes you tense up before every fog door. The Switch version keeps all that crushing atmosphere intact, and somehow being portable makes it even more personal. Every clang of armor and every distant scream feels like a reminder that this place wants you gone. It's not horror by jump scares, it's horror by hopelessness, and we love it for that. This one turns your Switch into the scariest phone you'll ever hold. It's a found footage style mystery built around the iconic weeping angels, those statues that move when you're not looking. You're investigating a missing person case through messages, photos, and videos on a stranger's phone. Every notification feels suspicious. Every image hides something. It's subtle, eerie, and brilliantly faithful to the show's don't blink horror. What makes it terrifying is how intimate it feels. You're literally poking through someone's life as the angels close in. Creepy? Absolutely. Clever? Even more so.
Means Lawrence is still missing. You're the right person for the job.
This is adrenaline horror at its finest. Daytime scavenging, nighttime panic. You're sprinting across rooftops in a zombie-infested city, kicking undead heads off ledges while crafting ridiculous weapons out of duct tape and bad ideas. Then the sun goes down, and suddenly the hunters become the hunted. The day-night switch never gets old. It's pure chaos one moment and heart-pounding terror the next. It's got that perfect mix of freedom and fear. You can fight, but you'd really rather not. Play this one with headphones and you'll find yourself whispering "don't look back" as you climb for your life.
The GRE plans to weaponize the virus, not cure it.
If you've ever wanted to experience what losing your mind sounds like, this is it. The Amnesia collection bundles 3 games worth of nightmares, dark corridors, impossible noises, and a sanity meter that drops faster than your courage. You never fight back. You just hide, breathe too loudly, and hope the thing behind you doesn't notice. It's horror at its most primal. Fear of the dark, of the unknown, of your own imagination. You don't finish Amnesia feeling brave. You finish it proud you finished at all. This one's like if Medieval and Tim Burton had a chaotic pumpkin-headed baby. You play as Jack, a snarky skeleton pumpkin dude sent by the devil himself to cause mischief. And somehow it's equal parts spooky and hilarious. You're slashing through haunted towns, solving light puzzles, and cracking one-liners while everything around you glows orange and purple. It's not super scary, but the Halloween vibes are off the charts. It's the perfect spooky season comfort game. All the fun of horror with none of the trauma. If you love that old school PS2 era charm, this one's a total treat. No tricks. Crow Country looks like it crawled straight out of 1998. Chunky polygons, fixed camera angles, eerie lighting, and a story that pulls you in quietly. You wander through an abandoned theme park, because of course it's haunted, piecing together clues about what went horribly wrong. It's slow, thoughtful, and packed with atmosphere. Every creaky gate and empty ride feels like it's watching you. What makes it special is that perfect blend of nostalgia and genuine unease. You're never sure if you're solving a mystery or just walking deeper into something you shouldn't. It's low-key creepy in the best possible way. Inside is the kind of horror that doesn't scream, it just stares. You play a boy sneaking through a dystopian world filled with mind control experiments, body horror, and unsettling calm. There's no dialogue, no explanations, just pure tension and flawless pacing. Every moment feels like you're discovering something awful you weren't meant to see. The animations, the lighting, the sound, it's all designed to make you feel small and powerless. It's short, smart, and unforgettable. If Limbo was a bad dream, Inside is the part where you realize you never woke up. Little Nightmares 2 is one of those games that doesn't need a single jump scare to make your skin crawl. You play as Mono, a tiny kid in a paper bag mask navigating a warped world full of grotesque adults, eerie schools, and TVs that feel too alive. It's creepy, it's sad, it's weirdly beautiful. The perfect blend of fairy tale and nightmare. Every chase feels desperate, every room tells a story, and that ending? Yeah, that ending sticks with you. It's one of the rare horror games that makes you feel emotions in between the panic attacks. Observer is psychological horror dressed in neon and static. You're a detective who literally hacks into people's memories to solve crimes, except their minds are corrupted, glitchy, and terrifying. It's body horror meets tech paranoia, wrapped in a Blade Runner aesthetic. The visuals twist and pulse, the audio melts your brain, and you're never sure what's real anymore. It's less about monsters and more about losing your grip on reality, one corrupted memory at a time. The voice work, shout out to Rutger Hauer, adds that perfect noir grit to all the digital dread. You know this one, Leon Kennedy, a village full of cultists and enough roundhouse kicks to make Bruce Campbell jealous. Resident Evil 4 might lean more action than pure horror, but the tension is still unreal. You're constantly low on ammo, cornered by villagers chanting something you definitely don't want translated, and wondering if that chainsaw sound is getting closer. Even after all these years, it's fun scary in the best way, like a haunted house that punches back. It's a must play on Switch, perfect for when you want that mix of dread and badassery.
My name's Leon. I'm under the president's order to rescue you.
This one's pure nostalgic gold. It basically plays like Ghostbusters 3, complete with the original cast, script, and that perfect mix of comedy and creepy. You join the team, blast ghosts through New York, and wrangle them into traps while the proton pack hums on your back. It's got that Saturday night movie energy. One minute you're laughing, the next you're dodging a demonic marshmallow. The humor lands, the gameplay's tight, and it just feels good to clean house with ectoplasm everywhere. If you grew up quoting "Who You Gonna Call?", this game scratches that exact nostalgic itch. Darkwood is what happens when a game decides to terrify you with atmosphere alone. You're stuck in a forest that changes every night, scavenging supplies and boarding up your hideout before the darkness comes alive. There's no hand-holding, no map markers, just tension, dread, and the sound of something scratching at your door. The top-down view somehow makes it worse, because you can hear the monsters before you ever see them. It's raw, it's lonely, and it's brilliant. This is horror for people who like to suffer quietly and then brag about it online afterward. This isn't jump scares, it's heartbreak wrapped in apocalypse. You play as Lee, protecting a little girl named Clementine as the world collapses. And the horror isn't just the zombies, it's the choices you have to make. Every dialogue line hits hard, every decision feels heavy, and when things go bad, and they will, you feel it in your chest. It's story-driven, beautifully written, and somehow still tense even when there's no action. It's proof that horror can make you cry just as easily as it can make you scream.
I'm sorry, man.
If ghosts freak you out, Fatal Frame will ruin you, in the best way possible. Armed with only a mystical camera, you explore a haunted mountain and literally photograph spirits to exorcise them. Every encounter feels like a heart attack waiting to happen. The camera obscura forces you to stare directly at what you most want to avoid. It's slow, tense, and dripping with atmosphere. Every shutter click feels like a risk. Every reflection makes you second guess what's real. It's that classic Japanese horror. Elegant, patient, and utterly terrifying. You don't fight the darkness here, you frame it. Deathmark takes the visual novel format and injects it with supernatural paranoia. You play as someone cursed with a mysterious mark that means death is coming, unless you unravel the weird, horrifying mysteries behind it. It's slow burn storytelling with creepy sound design and monster designs straight from your worst nightmares. You investigate haunted schools, abandoned houses, and cursed shrines, each one full of that "something's definitely behind me" tension. It's equal parts detective story and ghost tale, with an ending that sticks to your brain like a bad dream. Quiet horror, deep lore, and big "don't play this alone at 2 a.m. energy. This one's a time capsule from the 90s, full of weird FMV ghosts, haunted mansions, and deliciously awkward one-liners. Killing Time doesn't try to be slick or modern. It embraces its retro weirdness completely. You explore a cursed estate, blasting spirits while watching bizarre video ghosts act out their doomed stories. It's equal parts creepy and hilarious, and that's exactly what makes it so special. It's like someone mixed Clue, Doom, and a bad haunted house TV show. And somehow it works. Pure haunted nostalgia with personality for days. A perfect way to cap off this spooky lineup. And there you have it, 30 horror gems hiding on your Nintendo Switch. From quiet chills to full-blown nightmares. Which one are you brave enough to play first? Drop it in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe if you love a good scare, especially the kind you can take on the go.